to stay, I'll never leave. If you want me to stay, we'll always be. If you want me to stay, love endlessly. If you want me to stay, if you want me to stay, I'll never leave you. I inherited knowledge from the masters who came before me. I'm falling in love with the money it make me. I've been at it like 15 long years of the hustle. Couldn't stop me now. No one in the game got the muscle. I'm tapping into higher power. Mario Fireflower helped tune me into the frequency to divide the cowards from the warriors. It's a war that we all a part of. Don't get me started, mama. I just barely cleared my karma. I saved the Johnny drama for my next. Yeah, I'm already on my next. Same hands that I used to write how much I'm blessed with. Change man still up, shouldn't mess with. Game plan M's in the bank so I don't stress. Fame can't alter me what time that I invested. Let's get back to the point I was making. You can't avoid all the faking. You gotta learn to embrace it and use it to help you make chips. Cause critics is critics and haters is haters forever. My Brooklyn basement is no longer vacant. I'ma take it wherever the wind goes and further if you ask for it. I Jim carried the fixed scene and they wore their mask for it. I think back to last year, I was penny pinching with no dough. Now it's still Denny's, but we in NoHo. I just needed balance. I was focused on the light, but that dark side creeping now. I'm focused on the fight. I feel I'm watching. Yeah, I feel you watching. Young hyena, Super Saiyan, Simba saying that you off that cocaine. I don't need no introduction anymore. I mastered the craft. I mastered the art, homie. You mastered the math. Vast on my path, I'm feeling that resistance, but I know it's all about persistence. Yeah, see, I know it's all a game. I just wish it would say my name, say my name, say my name. If you want me to stay, I'll never leave. If you want me to stay, we'll always be. If you want me to stay, love endlessly. If you want me to stay, if you want me to stay, I'll never leave you.
Yo, what's up? We're here with a brand new episode of Let's Vibe TV. And you know who it is, DaZ Exotic, all up in this bitch. If you just watched, shout out my boy Merk Sane, 28 Facts. Subscribe to his channel. We just infiltrated. I take over rooms, nigga. That's what we on here on Let's Vibe TV. We setting the vibe, the frequency, and guaranteed the vibes is high today. Cause today we're taking a break from the typical situation that's been taking a place, and we got an alien dropping into the building. A lot of y'all know who my man's is. He's a legend in the AZ area, an incredible father, a visionary, a staple in the hip hop motherfucking scene. Sincerely, motherfucking Collins.
What's poppin', baby?
What's up? How have you been? How's everything going on for you? Going on with COVID and all this?
Shit, living free of COVID, living
Dope.
the good life, man. Just blessed, man. Blessed. I'm so thankful to be putting out another album, to be delivering another piece to the fans.
Yes,
brother.
sir. Yo, it is crazy how many people we're losing and how many people take being able to put out a new album like for granted. It is such a blessing. I'm able to sit here and talk with you right now for real, because even this conversation was not even supposed to happen.
Facts. Big old facts.
Yo, so okay. And how much of this was created during COVID? How much of your new project that's coming out. And what day is it coming out?
It's coming out March 12th. It's called Alien, and yeah, I believe I started this September 15th or something like that of 2019. So going into 2020, I remember
You started this a minute ago.
we were shooting the video for Alien, my single, um, and we shot footage of that at the Suns game that I performed at on March 6th of last year. Ended up being the last game of the season until COVID hit. Before COVID hit,
What?
yeah,
That is crazy, yo.
yeah,
So that almost set the tone for a man on a mission long ago. And here's another thing. People will put so much pressure on you, but
mm,
you gotta let it flow that naturally at all
right,
times, or what are you even doing?
yeah, facts, big facts.
So
Yeah, I had a lot of pressure on me to kind of get finished with this a couple of times, and it didn't have that Midas touch to it. Uh, I went back and I mixed it myself, and it really, yeah. I went back and I mixed it myself. That changed a lot of the songs after me going in and saying, okay, this is what's not hitting for me. You know what I'm saying? And
yeah.
it really ended up just paying off, man. Like it's really just got my
And
vibration all over it.
for the longest, I always felt like when you're being like, I always felt like if I went back and re-recorded, it would lose some of the like vibe that
Hmm.
was in that raw emotion that recorded it. But the thing is, what I figured out is I'm literally refining that
Right.
emotion. It's
Hmm.
getting reworked, it's getting resized, re-navigated, and
Hmm.
it's a beautiful thing to take your time rather
Absolutely.
than just settling. You understand your words more, your delivery, and so many people put aside the fact that it's almost like I gotta let some of your cover be shown. Um, it's almost like
Hey, you see that mask? That's pre-COVID too.
wow, what
Yeah. It's
trend setting
this
aliens,
is prophetic, bro.
visionaries, yo, and it's a
This is prophetic.
cold world. People thought it was gonna, yo, these people thought it was gonna warm up in 2021. Like, nah, it got even icier. We
You know
got
what I'm
we got the
saying?
shingles hanging. We got ice mask.
You know what I'm saying?
Um, but yeah, they always feel like, well, a lot of local people don't see the bigger picture with their art, and that
Right.
is almost the deepest problem that it even encounters.
Yeah. Facts. Me and Action were just talking about that in the studio a little bit ago. About how like a lot of people don't aim for the bigger picture. They aim on such a minute level that it doesn't end up. You're not. It's just it's a bad look either way. Like you wanna
And they'll
overshoot
give
past
up
it.
based off
Yeah.
of half-ass efforts.
Hmm.
What the what? Why? And this is
Right.
and like it wouldn't be that emphatic or emotional of a thing if it wasn't the regular opinion. These like that's almost more common sense than common sense that you have to work hard.
Right.
But but and this is a perfect way to really start unpacking Sincere's bag. Okay, because there's a reason why your heart beats different,
Right.
and that's what you have been through
Right.
leading up to these moments. And from the start, from the gate, out the
Yep.
womb. So, and let's get into that from your perspective. Let's start off with your upbringing.
Right.
And let's talk about where you were from. And before sincere before sincerely, where you got that honesty and that grit,
Right.
and where you got that sincerity.
Well, like I said, man, like I like to consider myself a Bruce Wayne of sorts, man. Like lost my parents early. My mom went missing when I was 2, and my grandparents took me in, and like they were my Alfred. They kind of just like honed me and just curated me to be the person that I am today. Equipped me with the tools that I needed, and I really just had that like cold, like frozen over heart to where like I'm willing to sacrifice and willing to put it all on the line for what I believe in and what I love, just because I've already lost it all. So
Yo,
I'm not afraid to lose anything.
I think people have heard you say that a lot,
Right.
and I think that it goes through one ear and out the other,
Mm,
because they think that I don't want anybody to leave this interview thinking that they have your heart,
right.
unless they really truly do. And like, is it a hard place for you to talk about? But like, what was being homeless to you? What like were the biggest lessons that you learned out these things? Like, let's talk about the loss, and but not I don't even want to use the word loss, but the lessons
Yeah.
of these things, and unpack them, because you say you were young. People are like, oh, what, 20? Oh, and I like, no, it's deeper than that, and I don't want anybody not understanding that about you.
Right. Right. I mean, well, it just depends what part of the story you're talking about. You know what I mean? Because there's a lot to unfold. Like homelessness was later in life. That
Well,
was me on my grind.
well,
Working to become.
let's go from the start. I mean, let's go to when your parents were. Do you like how? Like, let's go to like, what was your first heartbreak? That kind, you know what I'm saying? Like, and where this resilience, and because we were having a great conversation before we were on air, about like where the positive war is
Mhm.
waged in the thought process, because I think so many people's hearts are wrong right now, and they're making everything going on in this world like a color thing, and it's deeper than that. It's a heart thing.
Right. I feel that.
So, uh I mean, what lessons did you learn? How did you learn them? I guess we can start there.
Like from not having my mother at the age of 2. Is that what you mean?
Dang, so you're saying that it happened at 2.
When I was 2 years old, my mother went missing, and my
Damn.
grandparents adopted me. Yeah. So I grew up in my grandparents' house under their shelter. So that's when I say like they were my Alfred, like they raised me. You know what I'm saying?
Literally.
And
That's
so
the
like
Batman core, even before you could even process them. Okay.
exactly, exactly. I say on my first album on the intro, I say I lost my mind at age 5 when I realized what it meant that my mama wasn't alive. You know what I mean? Like it's something that like I was gifted this circumstance so that I could go on later in life unblemished by certain things that would happen to me.
Well, and you started when you start off with a beautiful stain, it almost makes it's almost like a blessing and a curse, because it made you war ready very early.
Exactly. That's exactly what I'm saying. It's like I'm I was ready to be John Jones, bro. Like you know what I mean? Like I was ready to it's more of an Israel Adesanya now. Israel's kind of the refined version. but uh but yeah, man, like I was born for the chaos. Young Simba, bro, when he lost his dad, like I've related to these characters my entire life, and they've helped raise me. You know what I mean? Like, if it wasn't for Batman, I might be a pussy ass nigga. You know what I mean? Like,
Literally,
like for
and that's
real.
people. Everybody wants such an easy life, but it but it's literally, it's like sunshine and rain. It's really hard to appreciate the sunshine without, well, it's to appreciate the sunshine without the rain. If it was always
Absolutely.
sunny, everything would be so easy. And like, it's funny because even as an artist, you're supposed to portray this perfect image,
Right.
like your life is perfect. But what you realize, even when you hit these bumps in the road, even if you might lose a few fans or whatever, it brings you to like a very real point. And
Absolutely.
it takes you to the next level. So and your grandparents, so they were heavily supportive. Did they get you into music? Were they big music fans at all?
Actually, my grandfather, rest in peace to him. He passed away last in on Christmas Eve. But my
Wow.
grandfather was not that big of a supporter of my music. He every time I ever saw him post, well, pre pre turning 17 and moving out, but also post 17 and moving out. Every time I saw him, he was telling me to get a job. So like that's that's my grandfather, which is another piece to the puzzle of my toughness and my resilience. You know what I mean? Like, I grew up with this military man who had no empathy whatsoever.
My stepfather the same way. Yep, for sure.
Yeah, military man with no empathy, bro. Like, you can see, like, ask my daughter now. She can't stand me because of this man and what he's taught me.
What? Yeah. What?
You know what I'm
The
saying? Like,
things you tried to avoid being like that. You're just like, shout out
yeah,
E Freezy for viewing in the comment section.
facts, facts. Hey, shout out E Freezy. What's up, brother?
That's the man right there.
Hey, let me just say something about. I know we're talking about something like kind of serious, but like, let me just say something about you, Freezy, just since we brought him up. Like, he's a
Okay.
very that is a very crucial person, bro. Like, he is crucial to my career. He's crucial to your brother's career. He's crucial to a lot of people, and like, just God bless that man, bro.
He's
Because like
crucial to my career
he's somebody.
as
He's
well.
exactly. He's crucial to all of us, bro. Like, so he really deserves his flowers, man. Like, so I want to just give
Yo,
him a
he
shout out
does.
whenever I can.
He's had a whole episode on here. He's been on a guest many times, and even when he was trying to get futuristic to on one of his tracks, I was championing him because the
Same here.
vibes were immaculate on his
I
page,
was too.
and it was super dope seeing that. But
That's actually how I discovered E Freezy. Was I
yo,
saw that he was doing
yeah,
that, and I was like, well, if anyone's gonna bring someone to want to do the song, like, it's gonna be me. Like, I'm gonna start commenting on there and
yeah.
saying stuff and interacting. And sure
He's
enough,
fearless
a few
too
weeks,
in his promotion. He's fucking fearless
he's
in his
great, bro.
promotion
And a
and
few weeks after I
creative,
started interacting with
unorthodox.
him, go ahead.
I say he's unorthodox. His marketing method, I've never seen an artist take the risk that he takes and get the kind of rewards that
He's just
he
fearless. He's just fearless.
gets.
Like,
Yeah, he be trying to challenge me too. Sometimes he be a little bit extra. But that's also the confidence
there's
in himself. And we have a lot of similarities that me and him bump heads about. But it's really, and this is a great, and it actually fits right in with what you were talking about with your family. Um, because just as much as your grandpa gave you flack, that man also did not leave your side
yeah,
till that you could take care of yourself, and
yeah,
until he saw you become a man and raise your daughter.
right. Absolutely.
And
He's
and it's
he's
crazy.
really a great man. Me and him had our little feuds and stuff, but that he was really a great man, and I wish he didn't have to suffer in his last little stint in life, because he spent honestly he spent a lot of time just holding a lot in and not empathizing, and I think that would have elongated his life if he would have let some of that stuff out, you
Of
know.
course.
And my mother is his daughter, so imagine that, you know. So it's
Right.
like,
Well, I mean, and that's the. Oh man, that's so deep.
yeah.
Whew,
So it's like that heartbreak that got him fucked up. You know what I mean? So it's like a whole
yeah.
different aspect that I couldn't even really tune into until I understood it later
Well,
in life, having a
people
daughter.
expect these relationships and these creative processes to be without friction, without conflict, but no. These people that you think are best friends be behind the scenes screaming at each other. It's literally a facade. But they also understand the worth of what's being created and the differences and the similarities amongst
Absolutely.
each other.
Absolutely. Shaq and Kobe.
Literally, now they were a little bit overboard, but
Hey, they executed.
yeah, they won championships and they spoke their minds and kept pushing.
I bet they are so much happier that they executed those championships, pissed off at each other, and made up later in life, as opposed to
Yes,
being friends and not making not winning no championships.
yo, yo. So I'm gonna say this right here, y'all watching, yo, because a lot of people comment on me and my brother's relationship,
Right.
and this is a great segue into you and my brother's relationship. But
Right.
like, I asked him if I could do this interview, and at first he said yes. And then, literally, when he found out it was actually happening, he blocked me on Facebook. Now, mind you, we're gonna make up, and this isn't anything that bad or that controversial that we're doing, and it's a later vision. Now, mind you, people think that he should always be all over every idea that we're doing, but most of the people watching have a very similar tick for tat relationship with their siblings. You know what I'm saying? And like, also, it's really tough because sometimes people put themselves in their own head and don't think about what they have done. And
Right.
even the person who I had the versus battle with, he literally made a diss song about me and my brother before we did our first show together ever. Okay. He still did shows, did songs with the man, and everything. So it's like, bro, I'm literally talking to an artist that I respect
Right.
about what happened and also getting answers for myself and for a lot of people about who haven't heard you lately or have just watched you, and like you've been doing a lot of press lately because the album's about to roll out, and I feel like that this is something that has been avoided and isn't even, it's like it's about time for these
Mhm.
discussions to happen because we're grown now.
Exactly.
Bottom line, point blank. And uh man, it was so wild. It was a classic moment for Arizona. What took place?
Um, be more specific.
We're getting into that. You and him's feud. You were
Right.
literally the only person who could fill those shoes at
Right.
that point to even be heard or responded to by him.
Right.
Um and this is probably like, okay, so for y'all at home, there's a classic Arizona beef between Sincere, who's on this platform, and my brother years ago, and it's so
A la
far
2014
2014 for sure.
December.
Well, it was so crazy because maybe from my end, He was in Bloomington when it happened. We were together when the diss song dropped.
Mm.
And it was crazy because
Well,
everybody,
I get where you're going with this now. Let me stop you there. So first off, how it happened. So there was a lot of things going on at that time, a whole lot of things, a lot of shit. Some of which I can't even jog my memory to remember. But there was a lot of politicking happening, a lot of behind people's backs talking, like a lot of just hate, bro. Just like hella hate. Your brother and I seem to be the only ones who really were like real with each other, if that makes sense. Like I would tell, like we would tell each other when shit was whack. He would
yeah.
he would talk to me like,
And this is before the diss song.
yeah, that's way
Well,
before. This
not
is
it
like,
wasn't even a diss song. It was a bar in a cipher.
yeah, no, I mean, it was a diss. It was a
Okay.
diss. Like just call it what it was. It was a diss. But um, in the spirit of competition in that moment, I'm not gonna get into all the reasons and shit, but like in the spirit of competition in that moment, it was like, okay, we all decided that we were gonna do this song, and in a spirit of unity, it was gonna be me and your brother at the head of it. And last minute, he actually backed out of it, right? And
Oh,
yeah, a lot of people don't know that. Last minute, like I'm
that's
talking
never
like,
how he portrayed it at all.
well, like a couple, like the night before we're waiting on the verse, like I'm sitting there, I'm mixing the tracks myself for Bootleg. And so I'm in the studio with Bootleg, and he's obviously like losing his shit. He's, feeling some type of way. So I got his energy with me. I got all these things that are happening outside. And meanwhile, me and your brother are the only ones that are really like representing unity. And I felt betrayed in that moment. Like, damn, like I went out on the whim to commit to this.
And yeah, and I'm sure he was getting a lot of flack, and you were riding for him, and you felt let down.
Yeah. So I mean, like there was that element. And so in the spirit of competition, and in the spirit of just me feeling like we were in a spot where that's not going to damage our like longevity in our relationship. Like this is going to be something that like me and him are going to UFC out.
Right, right.
Feel me? And my prediction was absolutely correct. We UFC'd it out for a little bit, right?
For sure. It was, man,
And
it was
and
crazy.
and and I'm talking about Super Bowl party February, whenever the Super Bowl is, 2015. So
Hmm.
this is a month and a half or a month and some change after the song comes out. His song is already out. His response, okay?
Hmm.
And me and him have already bumped heads. Let me just say it. Let me just put it that way. All right, like past what the song, like we did the songs, bumped heads further beyond that. Okay, so fast forward to February, a month and a half after all these things occur.
Hmm.
Me and him are at a Super Bowl party with Bootleg Kev, standing on top of the tables, performing back and forth our songs about each other to
Oh,
one another.
wow.
Okay, this is how UFC'd out this shit was.
For sure. Very similar to my versus battle. But go,
Right. So
go
like
on.
so and I'm talking like me and your brother, like we're still cool at this point. Like and but at the same time though, he also dropped he had just started to go viral. Like
Right.
it was like right when he was going viral, right?
The nerd trap.
Yeah, it was right then. And but mind you, like me and him we had already bumped heads, we had already reconciled, we had been on stage together, seen multiple places in public together. Like it was known within a small amount of people that we were cool.
Right.
You feel me? And to this day, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if that was just never the case for him, and it was just like, oh, whatever, or if it, which is, I think it's this. I think it's the latter. I think that um, more people started to interpret what happened, and it developed into something else for him than what it was in that couple of months when we were already reconciled.
Cool with each other.
um yeah,
And so it simmered down and then got reignited.
it got reignited. So he did a show somewhere, and performed the verse, and Jacob Owens filmed it, and they like promoted it, like they ran a promo on it, like they like this was some like high level capitalization like on this moment, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so like, which I'm still cool with, but I'm just like, okay, like, but are we, is that what it is, or is it like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm still trying to figure out what, like, navigate it and everything. And slowly and slowly and slowly things start to fade away, and more things come to surface, more disses, more whatever it might be.
Right.
More of going and grabbing people directly who I'm affiliated with, and putting them on, or more,
Damn.
going to have my manager
S-
shoot your video, or
So you're I mean, and ugh. I mean, and this was kind of what I mean, do you feel like that battle hurt your career?
absolutely, absolutely.
You,
But
you-
but do I regret it? No, because I'm sending, what it did is it sent my trajectory in. Let me take that back. I'm not gonna say it hurt my career. It changed the trajectory of the direction of where my career was going,
right.
because it was going in a direction that, I was going to be easily controlled.
For sure.
I was gonna be easily controlled. So and that's up for interpretation. I'm not gonna get too deep into that, but that's one thing that it absolutely did. Um, it also really like strengthened my core, because there was like a very, a deep foundation of fans who just cared about the music. You know what I mean? When it came to both of us, I'm
Yeah.
talking about people that are fans of still both of us, even. You know what I mean? Like, but it really
Well,
solidified that core for me.
um, when
Um,
when Jay-Z and Nas beefed, did you pick a side? I fucked with both of them and loved
yeah, I
both
mean,
of their diss songs.
I still think Nas is just, I still can't. My favorite, like, you know what I mean? And
Mine
that's what it
too.
is. Like, when it comes down to it, look, this is what it comes down to. When it comes
Are
down
you
to
my
it,
new
is
best
that,
friend? No.
look, when it comes down to it, I don't know if you want me to call you Brandon, if you want to call you DaZ. What it comes down to, what do you want me to call you?
I don't even know at this point in my life,
DaZ. I'm
my
gonna call
dude.
you DaZ. All right, look. What it comes down to is him and I are the best.
Hmm.
That's it. Him and I are the best. And those
Amen.
and those two energies, I'm talking about our region. And those two energies either can collide or they can work together. And they work together and they collided. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah,
they can still work together, they can still collide, or they can just be two separate energies. You know what I'm saying? But
for sure.
that's what it is. It's two giants.
And the same look, even what we talked about, like, bro, my brother's heartbeat is my heartbeat, and
Facts.
your heartbeat is my heartbeat. So
Facts.
it's a bunch exactly what you said. It's a bunch of goat blood. It's a bunch of greatness. Either way, any way you slice it. And sometimes those kind of things are lessons, and I do see that because you learned way quicker than me that these people aren't your friends at the end of the day.
Mm.
And
These
that
people ain't on my side. That
Oh,
city where the devil plays.
yo, and that is the
March
sad.
12th.
That's one of the songs.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
LA Times.
oh, that just felt so good. I thought you were singing a Negro spiritual, my boy.
It's a new Negro spiritual.
Hey, an
Yep.
alien, a new alien Negro spiritual. We doing things different on Let's
Right.
Vibe TV. We setting the tone. We taking the tone back. We ain't riding waves. We making them. Splash, splash, niggas.
This is already a legendary interview. It's only been 36
For really?
minutes.
Whoa,
It's only been 36 minutes.
damn. Yo, this is just. I'm overwhelmed with everything all the time right now, and I'm overly happy for everything and digging in my bag. Finally, niggas be scared to get in their bag, and it's just that time where it's just that time.
I tell people they don't have to be fearless. Just be brave.
Literally, well, and I gotta admit, a lot of what people would consider my confidence or braveness is fueled by naiveness and me thinking that people are good spirited. But like the good thing is that if it carries you to a point where you can't come back from, it doesn't matter where it came from. You
Right.
know what I'm like? Uh, and that's a hard thing to swallow, but because there's a fine line between the two. I think the system in the hearts of people is misguided, and they don't really look for reality. They look for feeling.
Right.
And that's cool because everything is about a vibe. And they look for an escape. But how do you maneuver through that to be yourself in this jungle, and like what kind of advice would you give?
Man, it's tough to remain yourself, especially now when like it's so much easier to be imprinted by things around you because it's all in your hand in the phone. So really it's just like it's if you want to be like elite in just the Hunger Games of this world, then you really have to be disciplined. You have to really
Facts.
you have to know what to feed yourself and what to keep yourself away from, because you're not going to go uninfluenced. You're going to be influenced by
Yo,
what you feed yourself. So
and you
everything is food. You know.
ah,
See, I know that
bow.
look. I know that look. That's like I love woke talk. I love
Yo,
woke talk.
that's that goat talk. Fuck that woke talk. A
You
lot
know
of
what I'm saying?
I mean, too many people are so biased, and I understand that it's a part of marketing to be biased, but I feel like the truth should reign free and love should reign free, and it's
Right.
getting to that time where that happens, and the curtain is coming down, even as far as what we expect from entertainers and things like that.
Right.
And even the people, it's almost like a rite of passage to get trolled and to maneuver through it. And like
Mm.
people will try to think about, oh, you shouldn't do that, it's controversial.
Right.
And those will be the same people whose favorite rapper killed somebody in Walmart in front of their child.
Right.
And so it's like, bro, I argued about whether or not I won a battle. Nobody's going to cancel me because of that. And I was literally robbed.
Right.
Not that serious. And also people's emotions and waves are so temporary and fickle, and
Yep.
people hang so much worth on them. It is mind blowing them not seeing the big picture. And
Right.
even what you're talking about reminds me of like when Rakim is like, his audiobook is amazing, and he's talking about, yo, back when I was rapping, niggas were rapping like, I came through the door, I said it before, and I didn't deliver like that.
Right.
I said, uh, thinking of a master plan, nothing but sweat inside my hands. They told me not to. He changed rap forever
Mm-hmm.
when he did that. Just the same as probably when people were probably telling Lil Wayne, don't do that squeaky voice.
Yep.
But playing with fire, what the fuck? I'll never forget the first time I heard that nigga coming undone on record.
Right.
And subconsciously aspire to that level anytime I'm in there.
Right.
XXX, the first time you hear Look at Me. So even with that, he got trolled. Even
Mm-hmm.
before the song played, even after I heard it, I'm like, what the fuck is this? I remember I was in the toilet about to take a shower, taking a shit before, and I was listening to his project finally.
Thanks for painting the picture.
I had to buy it right there. I had to buy it right there on the spot, point blank, no questions asked. I was like, this kid does not give a fuck. I thought I didn't give a fuck. I thought I was bending genres. Psh, he just threw the rule book out the window. Hallelujah.
Right.
So, but people are scared of those things because of the short term flack that it gets. And yeah, that's why I loved what you just said about staying focused.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Discipline.
and so, um, you've dropped a lot of dope projects since and been a part of a lot of things. And even you're very giving to the community that you're from. You will
Right.
give features, you'll work with them. And it sucks because a lot of people, and I've learned this too, it seems like and then they'll use your name for clout if you have anything that happens, you know. And I
Right.
know about it from like even Fresh C Alienated, and like it's like, bro, no disrespect, but sincerely did that because he respected you as a human.
Right.
He had love for you because you wrote for him, and we get that, but that only gets you so far with business. And if you didn't fuck with him, if he didn't present an opportunity to you, what are you doing? And even when you didn't fuck with him, you backed him for the biggest thing that you were trying to promote, that you've
Yep.
ever promoted your whole existence.
Mm-hmm.
I've watched everything going on for
You're good for real. You seeing it.
and that's the thing. Audiences miss that. They use the clout factor, and then leave it out
Mm-hmm.
at the same time. It's pick and choosing.
Mm-hmm. It's okay though because the real will always prevail.
The cream, right?
Always.
The cream rises to the crop. Yeah, and like that's even with people. Yo, y'all watching? If people tell you you shouldn't do something or whatever, like or making a lot of controversy about it, it's gonna push you to the people who understand what you're doing, especially when you know your heart. All you got to do is know your fucking heart and not let the things that happen close you off. They
Yeah,
have
absolutely.
to open you up at all times.
Absolutely. Like I said, you don't got to be fearless. You just got to be brave.
And so let's get into what like I don't even quite know where to start as far as how do we navigate your career after Destroyer, and where do we start that conversation, or do we talk about Destroyer and where you
Um,
were at then?
I mean, that album was huge for me. Like, I mean, like as much as we can talk about like what I was going through with your bro at the time.
Destroyer was even bigger.
Yeah,
Yes.
Destroyer was really big for me. I have records on Destroyer right now that are like rekindling, and they're at the top of my
Streams.
most plays right now. And it's just like I really just understand like what I understand that I was channeling in that moment something that was just it was gifted. I was gifted that project, you know.
For
Um,
sure. And why would you say that? You didn't know it was gonna be that what it was, or like what?
I'm just saying that I open myself up to what God wants to deliver through me, and Him delivering that was me being gifted that project.
For
Um,
sure.
but even like besides that, like the radio took that.
Light work was being
The
banged
the radio took
everywhere.
light work, and the city just really took off with it. Like, man, that thing just zooted, bro. Um,
I, I know. Yeah,
yeah,
for sure. It was all over my timeline. It was
yeah,
crazy. It didn't.
that thing zooted, and it really just changed my life. It launched me into just like a whole new career path and just a whole new everything, way of living. And that led to my album the next year, The Legend of the Phoenix. And most of that album was made back and forth between Los Angeles. I was in a relationship at the time, and my girlfriend lived in Los Angeles, and so I was back and forth between seeing my daughter and living out in Los Angeles. And um, I had also just come off of like a very um, that prior year. Let's just say that I just went through a lot, and I'm talking about before the battle. I just had went through a lot, like physically and like in my personal life and shit.
Even the
And,
title Destroyer speaks
exactly,
volumes on where you were at and where your drive was at that point.
exactly. So with that said, yeah, I went to work on Legend of the Phoenix, and I was in a different state of mind. I was in a higher state of mind, a peaceful state of mind. I was very I was learning empathy. I literally had just started smoking weed. Like I was like becoming very very spiritual. Grew my locks out, bro. Like I went through my whole Andre 3000 moment. You know what I mean? Like my
For
whole Andre
sure.
3000 Erica Badu moment. You know, and so that's the place that I was in when I made Legend of the Phoenix. But which is great. Like that album also did a lot for me too, and it had another great big single on it called Possible that the radio picked up, that my daughter was actually on with me, and so that blossomed its own type of energy. But
And
after
Destroyer was prior to fatherhood, correct?
Destroyer, no, it was not prior to fatherhood. It was but my baby was like 3,
I see.
and then
Oh,
she was 5 on Legend of the Phoenix.
for
She's on
sure.
every album, so
Yeah, I saw that. She's a huge inspiration. I didn't quite, even when I did my intro, I said the father.
right,
And that was, an ode to you constantly letting people know that she's the brains behind
right,
your operation in a way. And even the significance, like, yeah, Destroyer. It was like, yo, I will destroy anybody who's
right,
trying to stop me from raising
right.
my daughter, kind of thing. New to fatherhood, and also the lack of empathy. So, like, what would you say parts of Destroyer are going to be carrying into Alien? What are the let's get into the similarities
Yeah,
and the differences between these two, because it seems like Alien is about to be a big moment for you. And let's take it back. We were getting to I had to take it out to not distract anybody from our words for a
right.
second. But let's take it back now that we're comparing Destroyer and Alien.
Well, I would say Alien is my closest work to Destroyer as far as conceptual conceptual construction of it. Um, I really went back uh, that evil, that not evil, but that mad scientist, um,
For sure.
that mad scientist approach to concocting these records. A lot of movie inspiration, a lot of vibe inspiration. Legend of the Phoenix was very much inspired by just wanting to inspire people. Just bringing my life and pieces and telling my story. That's what Legend of the Phoenix was. It was me telling my story. But Destroyer was me really getting my Picasso pen going. You know what I'm saying?
Painting that picture, being like, you're gonna like this.
Yeah, painting that picture, bro. And
For sure.
and that's where this is at. Like that's how I approached this album, and I knew I wanted to do that. I would say the maturity of the writing on Legend of the Phoenix meets the production of Destroyer, and then just up the volume on that times like 20, because this album is just a lot more intense in every way. It's more intense when it comes to the way I'm storytelling. Like I did a lot of storytelling in Legend of the Phoenix, and I did a little bit of storytelling on Destroyer, but I feel like Destroyer was novice storytelling. Legend of the Phoenix was it was great storytelling, but it was raw
Overdone
emotion. It was
almost.
it
Right.
was raw emotion without the production. Okay. So like in Destroyer, the production it was um it was cushioning the lack of ability in storytelling. I could tell my story, but the production around it is what's really gonna make this drive this through. And then on Legend of the Phoenix, it was like I had great production on Legend of the Phoenix, but I wasn't as hands on with my shit. I didn't mix it myself,
You
and
were trying to be. It's funny how sometimes that plays against you.
yeah, yeah, because I call myself freeing up my mind and giving myself like whatever, and but really it was just like privilege. It was just like, oh, like now I have people that want to record me, and now I have people that want to do this, like because I have a name now, and blah 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 blah. When really it's like I went back on this album and was like, yo, I need to be cutting my own breaths out of my songs. That's how
Right.
that's how intimate I need to be with this. You know what I mean? Like
That
that's the
that
type of
hands on that you wanted to take your own
like
breathing spell.
like
I'll
that's
leave that shit to the engineer for
you
sure.
know what I'm saying? You know
I,
what I'm saying? But it's like that's how I grew up though. Like I grew up speaking, going back to my grandfather. My grandfather had a shop at the house. He was a mechanic, built cars hand by hand, had his crew, had his pit crew. They built dragsters, funny cars, all kinds of different shit. And I didn't give a fuck about cars, but I sure did learn that formula of how to be a leader and how to put something together, from the ground up, from a foundation, how to be a producer of a product that then has a final finish that you can go drive on the road with other professional products. But this shit, I put my hands into this shit. You know what I'm saying?
literally
And that's what I took back into this project.
so deep, so crazy the way like we get designed right before our own eyes
Facts.
without even knowing it. It's
It's
ridiculous.
all by design.
Uh,
That's
um,
Kid Cudi.
I love Kid Cudi. Well, I get compared to Kid Cudi, and I've grown to love Kid Cudi, but
I get compared to Kid Cudi too. A lot more when I was younger, but I still do sometimes now.
yeah, I mean,
We're both aliens though.
so I don't mind the comparisons at all because that's like good company to be in, especially if
Right.
you're trying to be yourself, an original. Man, I'm so mad. I'm jealous now. I don't got trees. I can't even smoke with my man 15.
Hey,
Bro,
I'm only puffing on a little roach. I still gotta go grab some more.
no, nigga. I'm literally, as soon as this is over, I'm getting my bag. Literally, I had to do the interview. I'm being professional. I would have been like, give me an extra 30
What you got?
minutes,
What you
but
got going on after this? What you doing after this? You super busy?
no, I'm not really. No.
I'm gonna send you the album. Smoke and listen to the album.
Hey, let's get it. That sounds amazing. Amazing, amazing.
Facts.
And,
Hell yeah, bro.
and so it's coming out March 14th. And so what
12th.
are the
March
March
12th.
12th, March 12th. And so what are the biggest differences?
The biggest differences in
The
between the
new
rest of the albums.
in the new project, like in the last one, yes.
Um,
Because you talked
I've been
about the, well, I think we kind of just went over it, but you didn't.
well.
So
No,
with
no. I
what you
got. I
said,
got some. I got some more. I got some
okay,
more.
okay.
One word I've been hearing a lot is maturity. Um, I think just spending the time on this really let all of my instincts and all of my what do you call them? Just all the abilities that
Okay, yeah, your
there we
sound
go.
went
There
out
we
for
go.
1 second. Now we're back.
There we go. We
And
back.
we back and we back and we back. Yo, the way they've done Chance the Rapper is
I know, man. They
crazy.
dragging that nigga, bro.
For no reason, bro.
Yeah, it's
Like,
crazy.
because
It's
he made an
crazy.
album for his wife.
Yeah, it's
And
just
even
crazy.
like my whole thing is standing up for people. Like, I'm Chance the Rapper. They're trying to play me right now.
Right.
And I'm just not going. I'm
Yeah.
talking my shit and I'm fighting. I'm fighting. Yo, nothing's better than finishing together. And that's
Right.
where me and them is at. When they done, I'm done. It's a war outside no man is safe from. It doesn't matter if you're 4 feet or 8'1".
Facts, bro.
Cameron. Yo, that so okay. Let's get into inspirations a little bit musically. We talked about Nas very briefly.
Huge Nas fan.
Oh, what have you been bumping lately besides yourself?
Besides myself, I've been bumping a lot of oh 07 Shake.
Yo, guilty conscious.
Crazy. I can't wait for
Crazy.
her to drop something new.
That whole album is phenomenal.
I've been bumping. What have I been bumping lately? I've been playing some old Drake.
I'm a Drake fan too. I'm a Drake fan too.
I can't even think, bro. I don't know what I'd be listening. I don't consume enough music anymore. Like I haven't recently. Like I'm sure I'm gonna start now that the album's dropped. Like I'm gonna want to
Right.
listen to other stuff against my music. You know what I mean? So, but like I've been in the caves, bro. So I haven't really been listening.
For sure, for sure. Well, I mean, that means your shit is original. It's out of your own fucking head.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, it's definitely just another level. It's gonna take us to another level too.
For sure. I mean, do you want me what is the let me did you want me to play the other video? Is it good for what cuz I almost feel like we're so focused on the new album. Uh
Right.
that it would almost be off base to play anything old. Does it fit? Like what what would you want to do?
Um.
Or play a classic? How would you want to close this bitch out?
Yeah, we have been talking about a lot of classic shit. Maybe
Classic.
maybe we can find something in the old vault or something. Play Soul.
So,
Yeah, let's do that.
let's take it there. Okay. That's really, I mean, that's that's
Hey,
kind
can
of
you do me
what,
a favor? Can you send me this interview
of course,
like
you
a like
already,
a like in a like MP4 or something?
of course, you already got it For sure, we gonna make it happen. Whatever you need. I download it typically right after and add it to Instagram and YouTube. And yo, this is Sincerely Collins. So that we're about to play. Let's run this bitch back. Let's run it back.
JOP on the video.
Hey. Mm.
I'm not too good with rejection. Love is the answer, but I don't remember the question. Just out of spite, I should go ahead and teach you a lesson. You may not pick up the phone, but I'll leave you a message. I'll leave you a message. Everything that you've been taught is a liar, recover up. I was like you when I was coming up. Problem is that we don't know enough. Now I'm like, fuck what I know enough. Slow it up. Happiness won't be achieved if you do not get what I mean. Finding yourself is the key. That is just what I believe. I find my inner destroyer, side effect of paranoia. You do not have to conform to ideas of people who came here before you. That is insanity. That is not pushing forward for humanity. That is assault with a deadly whatever. Whoever can get it for worse or for better. Whenever, don't let them control you. We trapped in a box and I'm boxing my way out. You follow the leader, I'm leading a stakeout. Trying to find who to take out. I am just way out of line with my views and perception. That's why I be stressing. I feel like every day that we have is a blessing. So fuck a profession. I am a vessel with messages not of this world. That is why I'm not attracted to things of materials, diamonds and pearls. Diamonds and pearls. I will revolt, I will rebel. I would much rather be locked in a cell than be locked in this hell. Hoping for heavenly change, hoping that heaven remains heavily chained down.
On sight, hoping that it'll be alright. Minding the clouds, I'ma prepare for a long flight. Short life, long nights, giving these bitches the long pipe. Thoughts in my head, thoughts in my bed, falling in love for the wrong type. Times change, know that. Wishing that I could just go back. Memories heal, capture the feel. How can I
Y'all know the vibes.
No one is home, call back. Leave me alone, fall
Collins
back. Write you a
in
letter
your
in all
speakers.
caps, calling out something you all lack. So.
Something you lack, let's take it back. Bring it to the forefront. Let's make sure the masses have that shit. Raise your kids to have soul. You was talking about all that long before the world caught wind. Yo, what a solid. You was ahead of your motherfucking time. I remember watching that video when it first came out.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate you.
Yo, that's a classic. For y'all watching at home, yo, shout out Sincerely Collins. We had an epic episode today, and we'll definitely have to link up and chop it up again. Hopefully closer to when the album comes out, whatever. And I am PMing you my email right now, so you can send it to me.
Facts. You got SoundCloud, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, cool. I'm gonna send you the private link.
Okay.
It's gonna be the press release. If you could do like some sort of like a review or like a write up or like
already.
That'd be great.
I got you. That's
Word.
exactly. Yes, because I do. I have a review page as well.
Perfect. Appreciate you, brother.
You know how we rock.
Hell yeah.
So
Let's
Yo, yo,
get it,
yo,
baby.
we lit this bitch up. Another classic, like whatever we drop. Legendary, alien vibes. Y'all at home, have a great rest of your night. And be sure to bump sincerely March 12th. Let's get it. Alien logo in the hair.
Yeah,
Hey,
y'all see that?
I seen it. They probably seen it. Show it up. Put it in there. I'm about to give you the full screen so they can see the logo.
Let's see. Hold on, let me see how to do this. See it? Can you see it?
Yes, we can see it. Alien vibes. You know the vibe. Good night.